welcome to another episode of Skyrim. In today's episode, we'll be doing the Hitting the Books quest, which is from the main College of Winterhold quest line, so we're going to start getting back into that. I mean, we only got into it in the first place, I think, as a result of a couple of other quests that we needed to do, like we went to Sarfold because we needed to go there to get a Stone of Baron Zaya, I think. Um, or no, well, we needed to progress in the college quest line so we could go to the Archmage's quarters where the Stone of Baron's Eye was that we needed to get. I think that was it. So that's why we did that. So we didn't really start the college quest line um, without on its own, basically. Anyway, we're doing the Hitting the Books quest today. Last time we did one of the side quests for a fellow apprentice known as Jazargo. He wanted us to test his Flame Cloak spell on some undead enemies. So we went back to Bleak Falls Barrow, one of the first places we went to in Skyrim, and we used it on a bunch of Draugr. Wasn't the best scroll. I mean, we already did an experiment quest, right? Like Brelina, she was like an illusion mage, and she made us like see green, and then made us like levitate and stuff. So yeah, we just guinea pig for the other apprentices apparently. Since we can't do too much magic of our own, I suppose that's the best use I'm serving at the college. But yeah, today we're hitting the books. There are some free stolen books that some guy called Orthorn stole from the Mage's Guild or from the college, and we need to bring them back. Apparently, we went to Felglow Keep. It does ring a bell. I can't remember why we went there, but I think we've already freed Orthorn because the people he stole the books for ended up backstabbing him, taking the books and locking him up. And apparently he offered to help me find the books I'm looking for. I don't really remember, but we're going to go back to Felglow Keep and see what's going on over there.
Oh, hail to Ulfric, you are the High King.
Should be fun.
In your great honor we drink and we sing.
Okay, Felglow Keep should definitely be on our map. It's even marked as cleared. So why wouldn't I have got stolen books? Alright, well, even though we've cleared it, it looks like our foes have respawned. I'll be the judge of that. Gotta be careful for the adepts, because they can hit hard. Ooh. That ought to hurt. Is this just a flame Actronac that's just... Oh, this flame Actronac just... Oh yeah, I forgot you explode. I forget these guys explode naturally. I mean, I was like... I'm just saying stuff at the moment. Oh look, a greater soul gem. You have to go find common soul gems for Sergius. That also happened. We also completed that side quest in the last episode, which was like collecting a charged item. Why is the quest marker? Well, I guess that's just the door to get in, right? There, Felglow Keep Dungeons. Maybe we only went to Felglow Keep Original. And we never went further into the dungeons. That sounds like something I would do. Yeah, because the dungeons aren't explored at all. And Yellow Book of Riddles, cool. Interestingly enough, the quest marker took me here. Oh, mushrooms. Rather than into Felglow Keep. But then again, I haven't had this quest active, so I wouldn't have known that before. Interesting how a place can be marked as cleared even though you haven't actually cleared it. Barnacle clusters, nice. We don't miss those pots. Move a quest marker is not in here. Salt is always good. Wait, why didn't I just activate this?
What is it?
Oh, I thought that was like actual quest related dialogue, but no.
Tests. Go right then. Attack.
Oh, okay, there is something going on. Okay, well, so much for your test subjects. Okay, potion of illusion, cool. Books. Alright, bracers. Grab all of that drink. Yep, leather strips, good. Oh wow, we need to get firewood for some reason. Oh, that's for the fishing stuff, right? Viria needed us to find like equipment that she could use to build her own like fishing place. Yes, loads of ruined books. Food, boots, mugs. Greater soul gem. We actually need the common ones. We don't really need them though. We'll definitely have at least 3 common soul gems in our chest. Okay. Right, chug. Oh, there's fish in here. Didn't even see them. Nope. Oh, it's just a pot. There we go. Oh, there's eggs too. More salmon. I wasn't expecting a fishing trip. Yeah, there we go. Fish were had. Pressure plate. What does that do? Alright. Oh, Koznak just dodged all of that, yeah? What a guy. What a guy. Stamina potion. Okie doke. More pots. Oh, this is one of the lamest storage rooms I've ever seen so far. Could get better though. Leather strips, okay, somewhat useful. Dwarven armor, iron armor. I'm kind of mad because those are really heavy stuff. Aren't that valuable. Okay, chest, it depends on you. You know what, we'll take it, that's not bad. That's good value. Have you locked me in here, Krosnak? Thank you. Okay, is there anything else here? Not really. Ooh, fire rune. Sorry, frost rune. Been a while since we've seen runes. You would have thought that would have instantly got more attention. And you'd think he'd investigate in this direction.
And so you learn the power of the night.
The hell? Just vampires locked up in here talking about learning the power of a night? You do realize that I'm the one who beat those guys, not you. You guys got locked up. And I guess you're also being experimented on. Ooh, gold and emerald. I'll take. Okay, never mind. We could open these cages, I suppose. I wonder if the vampires will aggro on us even though we free them. I don't even want to know what happened to you. Oh, but at least they keep some carrots in here. Is that what they feed the prisoners? So I'd imagine they want a little bit more than that. Alright, let's save. Because we are absolutely opening these doors. Oh. Should have known. Taking way too much heavy stuff.
What's that?
Okay, good. You guys are on our side.
The prisoners are loose. Is someone there? Over here.
Gotta see this. Oh no, don't see me. I'm not involved. In the
So you
vampire.
learn the power of the night.
Alright, vampires. Good job.
Out of the way. Out of the way, meat.
Alright, well, you guys do your thing. I do appreciate the help. Yeah, I feel proud of myself. I have just let a lot of vampires loose on the city, but oh, I've just got myself in. But yeah, they killed some bad mages, so in the end, who can really say I did something wrong? A wooden bowl with a skeletal hand in it. I'm not quite sure what purpose that solved. Okay. Alright, well that saved us from having to kill a bunch of mages. Open shackles. Okay, well thanks for that functionality, game. 2920 Sun's Dusk, Volume 11. Yeah, okay. That is one we've read. Why are there so many plates and hands? Let's get Thieves Guild armor on. We might need your services soon, Krosnak. Oh, there's a headmaster vampire. So they only have vampire dust. Have we not? Okay, we have eaten vampire dust before. Good. Okay. Lock it, and then I'll have to start giving stuff over to a friend. Is that the sound of wolves?
Huh?
Another Master Vampire. Too bad they aren't carrying Master Vampire loot. Oh, this Khajiit's tail is still wagging. Poor thing. Okay, Krosnach. Let's finish looting this room first, and then I'll... There's another one in the cage. Oh. Why are you picking on Khajiit, mean conjurers? Some of them are nice. Last episode doesn't exactly help with the perception of Khajiit, since Kazargo's spells put me in some trouble. We've got a lot of honeycomb as well. Why honeycomb in particular? It's not a very common ingredient, so weird to see it in such high quantity here. So we've got vampires, Khajiit, bees, spiders. What kind of freakish experiments were they running over here? Is it better that we don't know? I think maybe so. Okay.
Let's get going.
What do you need to take?
Okay, doke. Oh, he likes the dwarven armor. It doesn't go with the rest of his outfit, but I mean, can't blame the guy for wanting to try on some new drip. Okay, well, I guess that's all he can take.
Lead on, then.
At least he's going to be more protected. Yeah, I think we've got everything in this room.
What was that? Go, boys! Attack!
Oh, more vampires. Oh, Orthorn. Oh, he's dead. Oh no. We freed Orthorn and he just went and got himself killed like months later. Oh. Hey, good job, Krosnach. Didn't need me to help you with the wolves.
Is someone there?
Yes. Oh, God. Ooh. Damn, that was a strong mage. Almost killed me. That completely took me off guard. I assumed someone just called Ice Mage wouldn't be like a master wizard. But yeah, we almost died there. Of course, it didn't help that I completely missed my first shot. And I got so much useless stuff.
Huh?
But it's okay. Oh damn, poor Orthorn. I guess he won't be helping me after all. So did the mage open this door and let the wolves out to attack Orthorn? feel kind of bad for not saving him. But he did steal stuff from the college, and this is kind of on him. And by kind of, it's pretty much completely on him. And if he wasn't confident enough to go into battle with these guys, he should have rushed in without me. Okay. That goes back to Felglow Keep, so I guess we could have come in through here. I mean, we'll unlock the door. Because, you know, XP. Oh, this isn't even Felglow Keep. This is just a treasure room. Gotcha. How are we doing? Wow, we've only got 71 left. Less so after all of this. Alright, we'll take all the jewels and the sword. Okay, so upstairs, that goes to Felglow Keep. So I guess we were supposed to go from Felglow Keep to down here. We didn't do that. Just took another route round instead. Oh, this door requires a key, which I don't know if we have. I do have it. That's okay, I didn't want to go this way. We want to go this way, past the corpse of our buddy. Follow the basket trail. Got Dragon's tongue, okay. Interesting. Ooh, Jasmine grapes. Remember when we needed those?
And begin. Okay.
Alright, doing some lame practice.
Good. We'll take a short break and then move on to wide area destruction spells.
Oh, well, good job, guys. Good session. This will really help you in the future.
Is someone there?
What was that?
Why are you running away? Huh?
Do your worst.
Need to get the main guy. Wait, why did it... That was weird. Why did it just zoom out? Pretty sure I didn't press anything to go into third person there. I thought it was going to give me like a death animation, like what? And I was wondering like why I was being one shot. Because you didn't even get to, you know, fire any spells at me, so like how am I dead? Shoes and hats. Extra magicka. Oh, using it on vampires. Well, I guess, you know, enemy of my enemy and all that. You were doing it on a target. Oh, it's got a little wooden shield. It's funny how someone would have taken the time to do that. Yep, we've got too much. I think we've got woodcutter's axe, which is not worth much at all. Oh, you're alive. I don't think I can do anything for you, can I?
Is it getting hot? Or is it just me? Hmm? Is there something
That's
I
pretty
can do for
humorous
you?
for someone who has just been, like, burned
What do you
alive.
need, handsome?
Handsome? Oh,
What do
okay.
you need, handsome?
I guess you've been in there for a while, huh? I'm gonna leave you be. But, I'm flattered. I am Mage, Hag Ravenclaw. Remember when we nearly got married to one of those, apparently? Keys. Probably shouldn't have taken that spigot. I'll probably just drop it. Woodcutter's axe. And probably some misc items that are weighing us down. Okay, that's alright for now. Never mind. Yep, more pots. We low-key need firewood for a quest though, so I don't want to drop that. Shovel that. I can get rid of that. Leg of goat. That's funny. I thought my leg was still on my body. Huh. Roll skull. We've also got these pots. Go over pots first. Get in there. Oh. What random Draugr just coming up now out of all times? No, they're not even Draugr, they're skeletons. Is this a scripted interaction, or are they just walking around? Alright, well, we're going to clearly have to fight some skeletons.
Got a bad feeling.
We'll be fine. Eager one, aren't you? Oh. Okay, Cosmic, is that what you're on? Ooh. Oh, there's one more. Get back into the coffin. Guess not all skeletons have. Why are some of you already... Oh, this one's not open yet. A few of them aren't open yet. Maybe if the fight had been prolonged, we would have opened up more of these. What else? Room. Saw. Shot skull. Spell tome, raise zombie. Pretty sure we know that one, but let's check. Yeah. I'm trying to get that soul gem, buddy. Oh, common soul gem. We needed one of those. Why didn't that upgrade? Did I not actually get a quest for finding those common souls? No, I don't think I did. I just have to do it. It's just not a marked quest. Well, then I guess I don't have to do it. Up or out. Weapons. There's definitely some trash clothes we can drop. Okay. Nope. Oh, that's a cool floating warhammer. Let's not take it and leave it as a memento of what we did here. Okay, we need to go in that direction, so let's see. We might want what's on the plate. Take the blue robes and leave some bad robes, or bad boots. Robes of extreme restoration, cool. Foot wraps. Shoes. Oh, these weigh nothing. Actually, want those. Give me weightless shoes. Books. That's probably some 2 value ones that I don't really need to carry. Okay, you press on. Okay, so we did need to go back to Felgo Keep. Maybe we did have to go through the dungeons because there was like a locked door or something that we couldn't get past. which sort of makes sense. Okay. This place is showing as... It does look like we have been here. Alright, completely missed. Completely missed again. There we go. Okay, we'll hang on to all of those for now. All right. Just a random fish. Sure. How dare you try and slow me down? Up here. Oh. Ritual keep chamber. So there is. So I have been to this part. I just didn't go into the ritual keep chamber. So I didn't really need to go into the dungeons, did I? Why is there a random frostback fanatic just chilling here? I'll get frost salts out of it. Haha, you're bold. And you're dead. And the bold person's also dead. Oh, beehive husk. I love a beehive husk. Okay then. Wait, even the ritual chamber's cleared? I'm so confused. It's not in here either. Like, please. Okay. This door is barred from the other side. We haven't been to this area, I suppose? Why would we not have gone here? This does... Oh, we have been here. I actually remember this place. Hold on, we haven't been here. Oh, but that was like 5 honeycombs, okay. Ah, interesting. That must have been a very big oversight on my part. 10 leather strips, sure. Okay, the ritual room's there, so let's see what's in here. Okay, no one's sleeping. Ooh, okay. We go. Oh, there's a flame acronac right there. Let's pretend we didn't see him. Oh. Unlucky. Ooh, ice wraith teeth. That's a good one. Okay. Oh yeah, we still have a Bacillian tankard, so I completely forgot. Lockpick. Grapes, cabbage. Oh. You could do it, Koznak. Oh yeah, he smashed it. Probably should have stayed away from the explosion, but you'll heal quick. Fungal pod. Fishing rods, somewhat valuable. Black robes, somewhat valuable. Alright. Alright, I don't want that. Alright, 2.5s now. Are you carrying anything else that's really good? Iron Warhammer's also like 2.5, okay. Probably that then. Okay, that gives us a little breathing room. Okay. So that goes there, so maybe we want to go in here. Oh, Falco keep key. Oh, wow. This is where the best mages eat. Look at all that silverware. Cooked food. Bees. Just random bees and powdered mammoth tusks. I mean, yeah, I can add a little buzz to your meal, you know. Sweet roll. Feels bad stealing someone's sweet roll because you know the guards don't care about it. A shrine of Julianus, just in the middle of this necromancy mage's cave. All diseases cured. I always forget which blessing is which, but Julianus is knowledge, so I'm guessing it's like magica related. Yeah, fortify magica. Okay. Good to know. I know my Daedra. Sorry, not my Daedra, my Aedra. Okay, well I guess the head mage is probably dead somewhere. Oh, 0 weight shoes, thank you. Alright, I just yeeted that for nothing. Ragged cap. Take some free money. Oh. Okay, jewels and gold. Iron boots, yeah, Warhammer has worn off. In the Warhammer we thought we would drop and then we'd instantly be able to carry everything we wanted, but alas no. Right, other 2.5 stuff like this drum. Oh, we still have buckets. Okay. Carrots, lavender. How about some more buckets? Salt. Wine. Autosave. Why would it autosave here when we haven't even gone into a new place? It doesn't normally happen. Leave those. Take the scroll, take the food. Healing potions. Are we about to have a tough fight? Is that why they've put healing potions here? Alright, well, we'll save ourselves. Felglow Keep Ritual Chamber. So even if I'd have discovered this place, I don't think I would have gone in. Oh.
Barged into my home and laid waste to my
The caller.
projects. How nice to meet you.
Who are you? I'm here for the books from the college. Who are you?
Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as
I don't call
Paula.
people. I don't tell
Now,
people my name
do you have
either.
a reason for making such a mess?
I'm here for the books from the college.
So you're just one of Arin's lackeys. That's disappointing. You show real promise. You come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work.
You disrupted our work.
Annoyed me, so I don't think I'll be giving you anything.
Hey, please have the books. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. We can persuade her. Let me leave with the books and there won't be any more trouble. Try it.
Fine. Take them and be gone. Never return here, or else you'll face my full wrath.
Alright. Well. We have avoided conflict with the caller. I'm kind of disappointed, actually.
Speak quickly. Speak quickly.
Okay. Night of Tears. Have we read Night of Tears? Doesn't look like it. Okay. We'll give it a read. Night of Tears, Granor Seleth. Oh, it's about Sarfel. Okay. I guess that's why we needed it back. Sarfel holds a prominent place in Skyrim history, even if most do not remember it by name. It is of course the site of one of the first major Nord settlements, one of the first cities of men in Skyrim, and the earliest known capital of their civilization. It was also the site of terrible bloodshed, when the elves attempted to drive the Nords out of Skyrim, to succeed only in incurring their wrath in the form of Ysgramor and his fabled 500 companions. Companion origin story? Who swept the elves from Skyrim and firmly established it as the home of the Nords. All this is known, but little else. What happened on that night of tears when Sarfel was razed to the ground, what provoked the elves to such a deliberate, vicious attack, and what prompted such a severe response from the Nords. Vingalmo's treatise of the Ultima Antecedent suggests that the elves of the Merethic era, along with their counterparts, the early Dwemer, possessed a degree of sophistication unparalleled in Tamriel. They displayed power beyond what could be expected of the time. While a distinct explanation is not given for this, I believe that this work, compared with the early writings of Hesef Chirinis, suggested that something greater was at work on that night in Sarfel. The true motives behind the Night of Tears have been obscured to us by the passage of time, but I believe this was not a simple war of territory, war of control of Skyrim. I believe that what happened was a significant event based around something very peculiar. The Nords found something when they built their city, buried deep in the ground. They attempted to keep it buried, but the elves learned of it and coveted it for themselves. Thus they assaulted Sarfel. Oh, did they find the orb? And the elves found out the orb was there and... Interesting. Thus they assaulted Sarfel, their goal not to drive the Nords out, but to secure this power for themselves. I believe Ysgramor knew something of what the elves would find under Sarfel, and rallied together his people to keep the elves from gaining it. When Nord once again controlled Skyrim, this power was buried deep below the earth and sealed away. Time has kept this knowledge from us, but it is my hope that time will also reveal the truth of these words. Every effort will be made to relocate Sarfel and find that which has been lost to us. Well, we did it. I mean, finding Sarfel wasn't the issue. It was getting inside, because you needed to solve the puzzle, right, to get inside, which I guess no one really figured out how to do. The Last King of the Aelids. I think we've read that at least in Oblivion. But if we haven't read it in Skyrim, of course we'll read it again. Okay, it doesn't look like it. The Last King of the Aelids by Herminia Sinner, who is the woman that is up against Umbacano for basically for Aeliad artifacts. Right? Herminia gives you the Fate Crown, or tells you where to get the Fate Crown. So you can get Umbacano to wear the Fate Crown and get himself killed rather than turn into an Aeliad Lord. The Aelids, or Heartland High Elves, ruled Cyrodiil in the long ages of myth before the beginning of recorded history. One of the earliest recorded dates, in fact, is the fall of White Gold Tower in First Era 243, which is commonly assumed to mark the end of the Aelids. Although Aeliad rule over all of Cyrodiil was indeed broken in First Era 243, this was only one of the most obvious stages near the end of a long decline. The first 2 centuries of the First Era saw increasing strife between the great Aeliad lords of Cyrodiil. Alessia appears to have taken advantage of a period of civil war to launch her uprising. Imperial historians have traditionally attributed her victory to intervention from Skyrim, but it appears that she had at least as much help from rebel Aeliad lords during the siege of White Gold Tower. That is pretty interesting. The popular image of the Aelids as brutal slave masters is based, in fact, of course, but it is less well known that a number of Aeliad princes continued to rule parts of Cyrodiil after 263 as vassals of the new Empress of Cyrodiil. So she let some of the Aelids keep their power. This suggests either that Aeliad rule was not universally detested, or that Alessia and her successors were more pragmatic than is traditionally believed, or perhaps some of both. In any event, excavations at a number of Aeliad sites showed continued occupation and even expansion during the so-called Late Alien period, First Era 243 to C 498. At first, many alien lords continued to rule as vassals of the new human regime. In some cases, alien supporters of Alessia were even rewarded with new lands taken from slain enemies. It is not clear to what extent human slavery continued under the Cyrodiilic Empire. Humans continued to dwell in the alien-ruled areas of Cyrodiil, but there is nothing definitive to show under what terms. This was an uneasy relationship from the beginning, and was not destined to last long. Resentment of the continued presence of alien nobles within the Empire was a contributing factor to the rise of the so-called Alessian Order founded by Maruk. The first victims of the Alessians were the aliens of Cyrodiil. In the early 300s, the surviving alien communities in human-ruled areas were obliterated one by one, refugees temporarily swelling the power of the remaining alien lordships. Then in 361, the Alessians gained control of the Empire and enforced the Alessian doctrines throughout its domain. The alien lordships were abolished. Enforcement of this decree does not appear to have required much direct violence. Should be did, I guess. It seems that by this point the balance of power was so overwhelmingly against them, and their fate so long foreshadowed, that most of the remaining aliens simply left Cyrodiil, eventually being absorbed into the elven populations of Valenwood and High Rock. Indeed, the rise of the Doreni hegemony may be linked to this exodus of aliens from Cyrodiil, a connection so far little studied by historians. Still, a remnant alien population seems to have survived the rule of the Alessians, because we hear of the last king of the aliens joining the Battle of Glenumbria Moors, where the Dorenis decisively defeated the Alessians in 482. How this king's people survived this preceding century is unknown. We do not even know who they were, although recent research points to Nenalata as a possible resting place to this last king, which is of course where we went at the end of the Umbacano quest in Oblivion. And yeah, he was supposed to wear the alien crown of Nenalata. We gave him the alien crown of Lindor, which I believe was like the rival city to Nenalata. Unfortunately, in the current state of the Empire, funds are no longer available for proper scientific investigation of such extensive ruins, so the answer to these questions will have to be left to future generations. Or me. Okay, last but not least, Fragment on Artaeum. I'm pretty sure that's quite a common book, no? Yeah. Actually, not that common. We only have one of it. Or maybe we sold it before. Return the books. Well, I'm genuinely surprised that we didn't have to fight our way out. Oh. Okay, well we can't go in there without a key, which I'm guessing she's holding. We could snake her and kill her, but maybe there is another key somewhere in here. Deal's a deal. We promise no violence, so we'll find a non-violent way to leave. Wants to go back through the dungeons for some reason. Okay, I think we're going the right way now. Wondering if the other skeletons were just going to come alive and attack us, but I suppose not. That's fine. So, even though it is awful and he was supposed to be our buddy. Ain't falling for that. Nearly missed that because of yeah, that was one of the Nord's necromancers back to life, right? Back outside. Cool. Let's go give Urag the good news. To the college. Guessing Urag never leaves the... Oh, hey, Sergius.
Chanting services are one of the few
Divine
things
smile
that
on
keep
you,
us
friend.
in touch with the rest
There are
of
few
Skyrim.
places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of
I
shipwreck.
understand you're the
Disturbing
one that
sorrow,
found this.
no matter what you
ore
found down
in
there.
South.
Alright, on, relax.
Well, you're certainly making a name for yourself.
The local
Sure am.
lords may not like us very much. They don't seem to mind.
Oh look, there it is. Do we already see
Should
that?
have been disturbing Sarthal, no matter what you found down there.
Do you see that, Onmund? Why? What are you doing? Why is he? I mean, that's not Ancano, is it? No, that's what's her name? Nia.
If you're working on any experiments, please clean up after yourself.
Sergius. Oh, Tolfdir.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
No doubt. We'll
Just
go
like anywhere
see if he
else,
needs help
it's all
later.
about who you know. I hope I can.
You alright, Nia? Okay, Urag. Hope you're well, buddy.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
Oh. Any interest in ancient Falmer Where did this come from?
Well, well. I haven't seen one of these beauties in a long time. A rare find in the original
Wait,
Falmer
what the-
language. You're damn right I'm interested. Question is, are you selling?
What am I selling? Depends how much you're paying.
Well, considering no one else in Skyrim would buy something they couldn't possibly read, I'd say you don't have much of a choice.
Nah, people
Tell
would
you what,
buy things
you
to
bring me
resell.
books like this, and I'll pay 1,000 gold each. I'll even throw in a translated edition I have for free. Interested?
Deal, give book? Sure. I didn't even realize I had an Ancient Falmer.
Here you go.
What is it? Oh, Unknown Book Volume 1 and Volume 4. Oh. Touching the Sky added. The Betrayed added. I'm carrying too much to be able to run. Okay, it looks like we've got some new books to read then. Oh, where did I find those unknown books? I mean, I'm guessing they were in a, like, Dwemer ruin somewhere. Huh. Okay. What was it? The Betrayed and... what was the other thing? Touching the Sky. Okay, let's read The Betrayed. The Betrayed by Engwe Emeloff. Translated from Falmer text by Calselmo of Markarth. Hey, pick up Calselmo. And when the snow prince fell to ground, the ice elves divided above and below. Now vanquished and brutally bound, one moment had shattered all they did know. The once cool wind on their skin, now replaced with the heat of a flame, and a pride once felt deep within, forgotten along with their name. Torn from their home of ice and frost, thrown into the pitch-black dread of night, living in fear as their minds become lost as their eyes begin dimming the light. Chained and enslaved, what once was light turned to blackness, alone and betrayed, sinking deeper into madness. Okay. A little poetry. Guessing all of these books are going to follow the same sort of format. Touching the Sky by Parmian Saldor, translated from Falmer text by Calselmo of Markarth. Oh no, this isn't a poem at all. This is just a book. Many of the most dedicated snow elves once committed themselves to a tireless journey through the Chantry to the inner sanctum. They carried with them the paramount desire to become one with their god, Auriel, or as he's more commonly known as, Akatosh. Though all set out with the determination to prove their worth, few were prepared for the trials that lay ahead, for the path to Auriel was not without its tribulations. The pilgrims struggled not only against the natural elements of the treacherous vale, but with a myriad of tests upon their faith and loyalty. It is told that many simply could not continue on the path for long before turning back. Some argue that the rebuke they endured upon their return was crueler than any punishment that may have lay ahead of them along the path. In their failed attempt, they were forced to live in the shadow of those who did continue on to achieve the great glory and honour of ascension into the light. Forever after, their faith and loyalty in Auriel would be scrutinized, and the remaining days filled with shame and regret. Tales of those who reached the inner sanctum are not without their share of woes. It is said upon their arrival that many were mere shells of the person that they had once been. Some were quite mad from sleeplessness and starved to the point of frailty. By the end of their journey, the marvel that they had strength yet to carry their vessel and ascend the stairs of the temple was the last true testament of their loyalty. Regardless of each individual's tale, the final words remain eerily similar. It is said that every pilgrim ascended, bathed in light, a look of relief and contentment on their face. Ooh. Thanks, Urek. Although now I need to drop some buckets. I don't think he's going to like me dropping buckets because I'll be making a mess in the Arcanium.
I swear, is there no end to these uncouth savages, just throwing their trash wherever they please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Finis. What's up with you anyway?
There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution.
Hey, we can use the buckets to store some books, okay? I'll even put it slightly closer. There you go.
Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's going to stay pristine, understand?
Yep.
You need a book? You talk to me. Otherwise you're going to find yourself in a lot of pain.
We'll see about that. Here are books that went missing.
Well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting?
Yep.
Did you
Talks
read
about
it yourself?
Starfall. I did read it myself.
If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these.
Okay. Racial phylogeny added. Daughter of Vanibban added. couple of Alt 2920 half fire V9. Catalogue of weapon enchantments. Response to Bearer's speech. Black Arts on Trial. Are these just all magic skill books? I think there were 6 of them in total. Now I've got to try and remember which ones they were. And now we're back to being over encumbered. Please don't hate me for dropping more buckets on the floor. Okay, let's go through them. I guess if they are skill books, we'll have already read them. Half Fire V9. Not one we've read. Conjuration up to 25. Half Fire, Book 9 of 2920, The Last Year of the First Era, by Karlovac Townway. 2 Half Fire, 2920, Gideon, Blackmarsh. The Empress Tavia lay across her bed, a hot late summer wind she could not feel banging the shutters of her cell to and fro against the iron bars. Her throat felt like it was on fire, but still she sobbed uncontrollably, wringing her last tapestry in her hand. Her wailing echoed throughout the hollow halls of Castle Gervese, stopping maids in their washing and guards in their conversation. One of her women came up the narrow stairs to see her mistress, but her chief guard Zook stood at the doorway and shook his head. "She's just heard that her son is dead," he said quietly. Who's that again? Empress Tavia. Blackmarsh. Okay. 5 Half Fire, 2920, the Imperial City, Cyrodiil. "Your Imperial Majesty," said the potentate Vasidiushe through the door. "You can open the door, I assure you. You're perfectly safe. No one wants to kill you." "Mara's blood," came the Emperor Raymond III's voice, muffled, hysterical, tinged with madness. "Someone assassinated the prince, and he was holding my shield. They could have thought he was me." "You're certainly correct, Your Imperial Majesty," replied the potentate, expunging any mocking qualities from his voice, while his black-slitted eyes rolled contemptuously. "And we must find and punish the evildoer responsible for your son's death. But we cannot do it without you. You must be brave for your empire." There was no reply. "At the very least, come out and sign the order for Lady Ridger's execution," called the potentate. "Let us dispose of the one traitor and assassin we know of." A brief pause, and then the sound of furniture scraping across the floor. Raymond opened the door just a crack, but the potentate could see his angry, fearful face, and the terrible mound of ripped tissue that used to be his right eye. Despite the best healers in the Empire, it was still a ghastly souvenir of the Lady Risha's work in Thurzo Fortress. "Hand me the order," the Emperor snarled. "I'll sign it with pleasure." 6 Half Fire, 2920, Gideon, Cyrodiil. The strange blue glow of the will-o'-the-wisps. Ugh. It's a scary reminder. A combination, so she'd be told, of swamp gas and spiritual energy had always frightened Tavia as she looked out her window. Now it seemed strangely comforting. Beyond the bog lay the city of Gideon. It was funny, she thought, that she had never stepped foot in its streets, though she had watched it every day, I guess, for 17 years. "Can you think of anything I've forgotten?" she asked, turning to look back on the loyal Kofringi Zook. "I know exactly what to do," he said simply. He seemed to smile, but the Empress realized that it was only her own face reflected in his silvery skin. She was smiling, and she didn't even realize it. "Make certain you aren't followed," she warned. "I don't want my husband to know where my gold's been hiding all these years. And do take your share of it. You've been a good friend." Kind of sneaky. The Empress Tavia stepped forward and dropped from sight into the mists. Zook replaced the bars in the tower window and threw a blanket over some pillows on her bed. With any luck, they would not discover her body on the lawn until morning, at which time he hoped to be halfway to Morrowind. Wait, what happened? Dropped from sight. Oh, what, she just fell. Or I don't really get what happened there. 9 Half Fire, 2920, Phrygius, High Rock. The strange trees on all sides resembled knobby piles crowned with great bursts of reds, yellows, and oranges. Like insect mounds caught fire. The Hrothgarian mountains were fading into the misty afternoon. Torella marvelled at the sight, so alien, so different from Morrowind, as she plodded the horse forward into an open pasture. Behind her, head nodding against his chest, Kassir slept, cradling Bosriel. For a moment, Torella considered jumping the low-painted fence that crossed the field, but she thought better of it. Let Kassir sleep for a few more hours before giving him the reins. As the horse passed into the field, Torella saw the small greenhouse on the next hill, half hidden in forest. So picturesque was the image, she felt herself lull into a pleasant, half-sleeping state. A blast of a horn brought her back to reality with a shudder. Kassir opened his eyes. "Where are we?" he hissed. "I don't know," Torella stammered, wide-eyed. "What is that sound?" "Orcs," he whispered. "A hunting party. Head for the thicket, quickly." Torella trotted the horse into the small collection of trees. Kassir handed her the child and dismounted. He began pulling their bags off next, throwing them into the bushes. A sound started then, a distant rumbling of footfall growing louder and closer. Torella climbed off carefully and helped Kassir unburden the horse. All the while Bosriel watched open-eyed. Torella sometimes worried that her baby never cried. Now she was grateful for it. With the last of the luggage off, Kassir slapped the horse's rear, sending it galloping into the field. Taking Torella's hand, he hunkered down in the bushes. "With luck," he murmured, "they'll think she's wild or belongs to the farm, and won't go looking for a rider." As he spoke, a horde of orcs surged into the field, blasting their horns. Torella had seen orcs before, but never in such abundance, never with such bestial confidence. Roaring with delight at the horse in its confused state, they hastened past the timber where Kassir, Torella, and Bosriel hid. The wildflowers flew into the air at their stampede, powdering the air with seeds. Torella tried to hold back a sneeze and thought she succeeded. One of the orcs heard something, though, and brought another with him to investigate. Kassir quietly unsheathed his sword, mustering all the confidence he could. His skills, such as they were in spying, not combat, but he vowed to protect Torella and her babe for as long as he could. Perhaps he would slay these two, he reasoned, but not before they cried out and brought the rest of the horde. Suddenly something invisible swept through the bushes like a wind. The orcs flew backwards, falling dead on their backs. Torella turned and saw a wrinkled crone with bright red hair emerge from a nearby bush. "I thought you were going to bring him right to me," she whispered, smiling. "Best come with me." The three followed the old woman through a deep crevasse of bramble bushes that ran through the field toward the house on the hill. As they emerged on the other side, the woman turned to look at the orcs feasting on the remains of her horse. A blood-soaked orgy, did you have to say that? To the beat of multiple horns. "That horse yours?" she asked. When Kassir nodded, she laughed loudly. "That's rich meat, that is. Those monsters will have belly aches and flatulence in the morning. Serves them right." "Shouldn't we keep moving?" whispered Torella, unnerved by the woman's laughter. "They won't come up here," she grinned, looking at Bosriel, who smiled back. "They're too afraid of us." Torella turned to Kassir, who shook his head. "Wishes, am I correct in assuming that this is old Barbin's farm, the home of the Skeffington Coven?" "You are, pet." The old woman giggled girlishly, pleased to be so infamous. "I am Minister Skeffington." "What did you do to those orcs?" asked Torella. "Back there in the thicket." "Spirit fist right side the head," the minister said, continuing the climb up the hill. Ahead of them was the farmhouse grounds, a well, a chicken coop, a pond, women of all ages doing chores, the laughter of children at play. The old woman turned and saw that Torella did not understand. "Don't you have witches where you come from, child?" "None that I know of," she said. "There are all sorts of wielders of magic in Tamriel," she explained. "The Psychics study magic like it's their painful duty. The battle mages in the army on the other end of the scale held spells like arrows. We witches commune and conjure and celebrate. To fell those orcs are merely whispered to the spirits of the air. Amaro, Pinna, Talifer, the fingers of Kinnereth, and the breath of the world, with whom I have an intimate acquaintance to smack those bastards dead. You see, conjuration is not about might or solving riddles, or recognizing over musty old scrolls. It's about fostering relations. Being friendly, you might say." "Well, we certainly appreciate you being friendly with us," said Kassir. "As well you might," coughed the minister. "Your kind destroyed the York homeland 2,000 years ago. For that, they never came all the way up here and bothered us. Now let's get you cleaned up and fed." With that, the minister led them into the farm, and Torella met the family of the Skeffington Coven. 11 Half-Fire, 2920, the Imperial City, Cyrodiil. Richard had not even tried to sleep the night before, and she found the somber music played during her execution to have a soporific effect. Wait, she didn't get executed? Or she faked her death, what? It was as if she was willing herself to be unconscious before the axe stroke. Her eyes were bound so she could not see her former lover, the Emperor. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Seated before her, glaring with his one good eye, she could not see the potentate Vasiliushe, his coil neatly wrapped beneath him, a look of triumph in his golden face. She could feel numbly the executioner's hand touch her back to steady her. She flinched like a dreamer trying to awake. Okay, so she was in the process of getting executed. Right. Her first blow caught the back of her head and she screamed. The next hacked through her neck and she was dead. The Emperor turned to the potentate wearily. Now that's done, you said she had a pretty sister in Hammerfell named Corda. Wow. 18 Half-Fire 2920. Dwinnen. High Rock. The horse the witches had sold him was not as good as his old one, Cassia considered. Spirit worship and sacrifice and sisterhood might be all well and good for conjuring spirits, but it tends to spoil beasts of burden. Still, there was little to complain about, with the dumb woman and her child gone. He had made excellent time. Ahead were the walls surrounding the city of his homeland, almost the once he was set upon by his old friends and family. "I'll win the war!" cried his cousin, running to the road. "Is it true that Vivek signed a peace with the prince, but the emperor refuses to honor it?" "That's not how it was it?" asked a friend, joining them. "I heard that the Dharma had the prince murdered and then made up a story about a treaty, but there's no evidence for it." "Oh, well, there might be something to that." "Isn't there anything interesting happening here?" Cassia laughed. "I really don't have the least interest in discussing the war or Vivek." "You missed the procession of the Lady Corda," said his friend. "She came across the bay with full entourage and went east of the Imperial City." "That's nothing. What was Vivek like?" asked his cousin eagerly. "He's supposed to be a living god." "If Sheogorath steps down and they need another god of madness, he'll do," said Cassia haughtily. "And the women?" asked the lad, who had only seen dun miladies on very rare occasions. Cassia merely smiled. Torella Skeffington flashed into his mind for an instant before fading away. Wait, what? Torella Skeffington? Did we establish that Torella was a Skeffington? Apparently. Flashed into his mind for an instant before fading away. She would be happy with the coven, and her child would be well cared. Oh, she just left them left her and the kid with the wishes. They were part of the past now, a place in a war he wanted to forget forever. Dismounting his horse, he walked it into the city, chatting of trivial gossip of life on the Iliac Bay. Alright, there we go. Catalogue of weapon enchantments. I mean, we'll double check, but yeah, I'm guessing that's an enchanting skill book that we've read. Yes, sir. Daughter of the Nibbon. Alteration book we haven't read. Okay. Breville. Daughter of the Nibbon. Is this what the city in Cyrodiil is named after? I mean, it does say Nibbon, which is the area, right? Nibbon Bay. By Saphir Longleat. Breville is one of the most charming towns in Cyrodiil. X'd out. Sparkling in her simple beauty, illustrious by her past. No visit to the southern part of the Imperial Province is complete without a walk along Breville's exciting... Wait, what's this book called? Daughter of the Nibbon. Is this going to be about the Night Mother statue? Exciting Riverport, a talk with her friendly native children, and of course, in the tradition of the village, a whispered word to the famous statue of the lucky old lady. Yes, it is. Interesting. So for those who don't know about Oblivion or don't remember, the lucky old lady was the statue in Breville that was actually a conduit that the listener of the Dark Brotherhood used to talk to the Night Mother and get contracts. That's something you don't find out until very late in the Dark Brotherhood questline. Many thousands of years before the arrival of the Admorans, the native Ayleid people had long lived in the vicinity of modern-day Breville. The Nibbon then as now provided food and transportation, and the village was even more populous than it is today. We are not certain what they called their region. As insular as they were, the word they used would be translated to simply mean home. These savage Ayleids were so firmly entrenched that the Breville region was one of the very last areas to be liberated by the Alessian army in the 2nd century of the First Era. Though little remains of that era culturally or archaeologically, thank Mara, the tales of debauchery and depravity have entered into the realm of legends. How the aliens were able to survive such a long siege is debated by scholars to this day. All would, however, grant the honor of a victory to one of the Empress Alessia's centurions, a man called Theo Brevilius Tassus. There he is. The man for whom the modern town is named. It was said he invaded the village no less than 4 times after heavy resistance, but each time upon the morning dawning, all their soldiers within would be dead, murdered. By the time more centuria had arrived, the fortified town was repopulated with aliens. After the second successful invasion, secret underground tunnels were found and filled in, but once again, come morning, the soldiers were again dead, and the citizens had returned. After the third successful siege, legions were posted outside of the town, watching the roads and riverway for signs of attacks, but no one came. The next morning, the bodies of the invading soldiers were thrown from the parapets of town's walls. Theo Brevilius Tassus knew that the aliens must be hiding themselves somewhere in the town, waiting until nightfall, and then murdering the soldiers while they slept. The question was where. After the 4th invasion, he himself led the soldiers in a thorough inspection of every corner, every shadow. I guess this is why it's going to be an alteration book, right? Because they were messing with the guards, making things look different to what they were. Just as they were ready to give up, the great centurion noticed 2 curious things. High in the sheer walls of a town, beyond anyone's ability to climb, there were indentations, narrow platforms, and by the river just inside the town, he discovered a single footprint from someone clearly not wearing the imperial boot. The aliens, it seemed, had taken 2 routes to hide themselves. Some had levitated up to the walls and hidden themselves high above, and others had slipped into the river where they were able to breathe underwater. It was a relatively easy task once the strange elves' even stranger hiding holes had been discovered to rout them out, and see to it that there were no more midnight assassinations of the Empress's troops. It may seem beyond belief that an entire community could be so skilled in these spells hundreds and hundreds of years before the Mages Guild was formed to teach the ways of Magicka to the common folk. There does, however, appear to be evidence that just as the Psijics on the Isle of Artaeum developed mysticism long before there was a name for it, even more obscure aliens of southern Cyrodiil had developed what was to be known as the School of Alteration. It is not, after all, much of a stretch when one considers that other aliens at the time of Breville's conquering, and even later, were shapeshifters. The community of pre-Breville could not turn into beasts and monsters, but they could alter their bodies to hide themselves away. A related and useful skill, to be sure, but not so effective to save themselves in the end. Very little is left of the alien presence in Breville today, though architectural marvels of other kinds are very evident. As beautiful and arresting as the benevolence of Mara Cathedral and the Lord's Palace are, no man-made structure in Breville is as famous as the statue called the Lucky Old Lady. The tales about the lady and who she was are too numerous to list. It was said she was born the illegitimate daughter of a prostitute in Breville, certainly an inauspicious beginning to a lucky life. She was teased by the other children, who forever asked her who her father was. Every day she would run back to her little shack in tears from their cruelty. One day a priest of Stendar came to Breville to do charitable work. He saw the weeping little girl, and when asked, she told him the cause of her misery. She didn't know who her father was. "You have kind eyes and a mouth that tells no lies," replied the priest after a moment, smiling. "You are clearly a child of Stendar, the god of mercy, charity, and well-earned luck." The priest's thoughtful words changed the girl forever. Whenever she was asked who her father was, she would cheerily reply, "I am a child of luck." She grew up to be a barmaid, it was said, kind and generous to her customers, frequently allowing them to pay when they were able to. On a particularly rainy night, she gave shelter to a young man dressed in rags, who not only had no money to pay, but was belligerent and rude to her as she fed him and gave him a room. The next morning he left without so much as a thank you. Her friends and family admonished her, saying that she had to be careful. He might have even been dangerous. A week later, a royal carriage arrived in Breville with an imperial prince within. Though he was scarcely recognizable, it was the same young man the lady had helped. He apologized profusely for his appearance and behavior, explaining that he had been kidnapped and cursed by a band of witches, and it wasn't until later he had returned to his senses. The lady was showered with riches, which she, of course, generously shared with all the people of Breville, where she lived to a content old age. It's a very different lucky old lady to the Night Mother. Or maybe the lucky old lady is just someone else, and the Night Mother happened to be hidden beneath her statue. That's also a possibility. No one knows when the statue to her was erected in the town square or who the artist was, but it has stood there for thousands of years, since the First Era. To this day, visitors and Bravilians... Bravilians? Did anyone even call them Bravilians in Oblivion? I don't think so. Alike, go to the lucky old lady to ask for her to bless them with luck in their travails. True. Just one more charming aspect of the charming and very lucky village of Bravil. I think one of the dialogue in Oblivion, I think it's Arquin from the Black Hand, who says the people in Bravil don't know how lucky they actually are. Which I guess there is something to that. Racial phylogeny, which we have read. Response to Barrow's speech, which we have read. There was one more. Black Arts on Trial. Okay, we haven't read that one. Illusion up to 22. The Black Arts on Trial by Hannibal Traven, Archmagister of the Arcane University, Imperial City. Wow, a lot of Cyrodiil throwbacks in these skill books. I don't think this was in Oblivion, so this must have been a posthumous release, because Oblivion spoiler, Archmage Traven kills himself in the Mages Guild questline in order to create a colossal black soul gem to help you beat Manamarco. And then you end up replacing him. History. Necromancy. Oh yes, about necromancy, of course, because he hates necromancy. Is this going to teach you how, though? Necromancy, commonly called the Black Arts, has a history that dates back before recorded time. Virtually all the earliest laws of the land make mention of it as expressly forbidden, on pain of death. Independent practitioners of the arts of sorcery, however, continued its study. The Psychic Order of the Isle of Artaeum, precursor to our own Mages Guild, also forbade its use, not only because it was dangerous, but their belief in the holy and unholy ancestor spirits made it heretical. Again, despite this, we hear many stories of students and masters who ignored this stricture. When Vanus Galerian left Artaeum, he may have disagreed with the Psychics on much, but he also refused to allow necromancy to be taught in the guild. Okay, yep, everyone's forbidden it so far. Almost 1100 years have passed since the time of Vanus Galerian, and there have been many Archmagisters to lead his guild. The question of necromancy has continued to be asked. The strictures against it in the guild have never been lifted, but attitudes about it have shifted back and forth over the years. Some Archmagisters have been inclined to ignore it entirely, some have fought very actively against it, and still other Archmagisters have been rumoured to be necromancers themselves. Cough cough Karania. If anyone remembers, she was the lady who was high up in the Mages Guild who ended up being a necromancer. In my new role as Archmagister of the Mages Guild, it is my duty to set policy on this matter. Though I have my own opinions on the Black Arts, I took counsel with two of the most leading mages in the Empire, Magister Voth Carlis of Corinth and Magister Uliseto Grakog of Orsinium, and we debated for 2 days. What follows are summaries of the salient points of the debate, arguments and counter-arguments, which led to the resolution of the Mages Guild on the subject of necromancy. Argument. Argument by Master Grakog. Necromancy is poorly understood. We will not make it disappear by ignoring it. As an intellectual institution dedicated to the study of magical arts and sciences, we have obligations to the truth. Censoring ourselves in our scholarship is antithetical to our mission of neutrality and objectivity. Counter-argument by Master Carlis. The Mages Guild must balance its quest for knowledge with responsible caution and ethical standards. It is not censoring a student's course of study to have him proceed cautiously and with purity of purpose. It is not limiting a student's freedom to set rules and boundaries. Indeed, it is essential. Argument by Master Carlis. Necromancy is an anathema throughout the civilized world. To embrace it publicly, the Mages Guild would inspire fear and hostility in the populace at large. Vanus Galerian wanted this institution to be unlike the Psychic Order, which was elitist and separatist. We ignore public opinion at our own risk. We will certainly lose our charters in many places, including, very likely, the whole of Morrowind, where sentiments against necromancy is very strong. Counter-argument by Master Grakog. Yes, we should be sensitive to concerns of the community, but they should not and must not dictate our scholarship. Necromancer to many uneducated persons simply means an evil mage. It is madness to limit our work because of prejudices and half-formed understanding. It is an affront to the purpose of objective study to turn our back on a subject, merely because of public opinion. Argument by Master Grakog. Necromancers are the scourge of Tamriel, whether operating independently or in concert with the Slodes or King of Worms Manimarco. They are responsible for many horrors, animated zombies and skeletons and other forms of the undead. To best combat this menace, we must understand the powers of the necromancer. We cannot do that by restricting our study of the black arts. Counter-argument by Master Carlis. No one is disputing the threat of the black arts. In fact, that is the very essence of my argument against the Mages Guild making it a school to be taught to our initiates. We can and should know what our enemy is capable of, but we must be careful not to step into a trap of looking too deep into his ways and making those ways our own. We do no one any good if by studying the evil ways we become evil ourselves. Argument by Master Carlis. Necromancer is inherently dangerous. One cannot dabble in it. The simplest spell requires the spilling of blood, and immediately begins to corrupt the caster's soul. This is not conjecture, but simple fact. It is irresponsible of the guild to teach and thereby encourage a sort of magical study which has proven itself, time and time again, to bring nothing but terror and misery on the practitioner and world. Counter-argument by Master Grakog. All schools of magic are dangerous to the uninitiated. A simple fireball spell from the School of Destruction can cause great harm when cast by a novice. Not only to others, but to the mage himself. The School of Mysticism, by its very nature, forces the practitioner to divorce his mind from logic, to embrace a temporary sort of insanity, which one might argue is very like corrupting one's soul. Argument by Master Grakog. The Guild already permits some forms of necromancy. The schools of magic are, as we know, artificial constructs, originally formulated by Vanis Galerian to divide and thereby simply study. They have changed many times throughout the years, but at their heart every master knows they are all linked together. When a student of conjuration summons a guardian ghost, he is touching on the school of necromancy. When a student of enchantment uses a trapped soul, he too may be considered guilty of a black art. The school of mysticism, as I have stated before, has some kinship with necromancy as well. To state that students may not learn the ways of necromancy is to stifle common skills in the other, more historically legitimate schools of the guild. Counter-argument by Master Carlis. Yes, the schools are intertwined, but the standard spells of each school have passed the proof of time. We know that the students of mysticism, properly instructed, will not be permanently harmed by his experience. In many ways, it is a question of extreme. How far we would permit our studies to take us. Necromancy by its nature relies on the practitioner going further into the darkness than is wise, virtually guaranteeing his destruction. It has no place in a mage's guild. Conclusion. The risks of studying necromancy outweigh its usefulness. The guild does not wish the sense of a study of any of its members, but will not tolerate studies in the black arts, except in limited form for the purpose of combating its evil adherents. This may only have been done by rare individuals who have proven themselves both highly skilled and highly cautious, and then only with my express permission and supervision. Afterward, I regret to acknowledge the truth behind the rumor that Master Odysseus Grakog was more than an apologist for necromancy. Yeah, there we go. She was a necromancer herself. Upon this revelation, the Knights of the Lamp attempted to arrest her at the guild house in Orsinium, but she made good her escape. We have every confidence in the replacement Magister in Orsinium. Though I disagreed, I respected her logical reasoning enough to include her arguments in this book. I see no reason to remove them. It is disappointing, however, to see that her interest in the truth was nothing more than a euphemism for her slavery to the black arts. This unfortunate situation merely illustrates how essential it is for guild members to be wary of the lure of necromancy and be vigilant to its practitioners' infiltration in our Mages Guild. Okay, it's been a while since we had a good old-fashioned book reading. I think that is it, right? Indeed it is. Now, excuse me while I drop some more buckets on the floor. Oh no. We messed up his wine. He's gonna be furious.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it's pointing us to Tolfdir.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Oh, okay. Right, well, Tolfdir's in here, but we're going to talk to him in the next episode. For now, let's go home and drop off our stuff.
Someday, I'm going to forge my own sword.
It's been a while, Dorothy. When are you going to grow up and do it? You'll be able to create quite a lot. Bee combines with honeycomb. Interesting. To ravage stamina. I guess it's like a bee sting, just with some honey on top. Beehive husk plus slaughterfish egg, of course. Okay, there we go. That's a heck of a lot. Yeah, we're still carrying too much. Well, we'll just make it to the bottom, drop off our stuff, and we'll be fine. Okay.
Let's get going.
Looks like you're
What do you need
keeping
to
the
do?
dwarven armor, since you like that, so we'll let him keep it. Since you got a glass arrow, I'm going to take your farmer ones. Damn it, didn't mean to take his helmet. Have that back, buddy. And now he won't even...
Let's go.
I didn't take his dwarven armor, did I?
What do you need to take?
I did, apparently. Okay.
Let's go.
I've got to be careful, because lag can make me return something I don't want to do. Okay, potions done, scrolls done. Food. Don't know why I put one of those back, but okay. Okay, it's got quite a few spare ingredients as well. Vampire dust, which was all the vampires were carrying. We'll get the firewood back. Didn't realize I was carrying a useless jug. Still has a ton of rune books and stuff as well. Okay, why am I carrying significantly more than normal? $295. Why? What am I missing here? And probably a weapon of some sort. Oh, 69 daggers, that'll do it. Okay, that's fair enough. Alright, well, that is going to be it for this quest. So we're on the main College of Winterhold quest line. We'd already been to Felglow Keep and cleared most of it. We hadn't cleared the dungeon area or the ritual room where the person known as the Caller was utilizing the books. A traitor to the college, Orthorn, had given the books to him, and then his captors ended up killing him after he escaped. But we were able to negotiate with the Caller, and she was smart enough to realize if we killed all of her mages, then she probably wouldn't stand a chance, so she just peacefully let us have the books we needed, and we took them back to the college. I wonder if that will have an effect later. Maybe the Caller will come back for revenge, or she'll assist us later. I don't know. Who knows? She might be useful. Yeah. Interesting enough quest. The books were interesting. We had a lot of reading. We haven't had a reading heavy episode for a while, so it was cool to get some lore down us as well. Enjoyed that very much. But yeah, that is it. And in the next episode, we're going to be doing the quest Good Intentions. We're going to carry on with the college quest line. The Night of Tears book, which was one of the 3 books that were missing, specifically referenced Sarthal and a war between the Nords and the Elves to possess the power that Sarthal contained, which appears to be this orb. So we'll take that to Tolfdir as soon as, next episode, basically. For now, guys, though, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Take care, and goodbye.